The human brain has a biological setting, a default switch, that it will fight to protect at all costs. It's not a setting for happiness or for success. It's a setting for survival. And to your brain, survival means not being ostracized, not being cast out from the tribe. So it has one primary, ancient command. Do nothing that could make you look foolish. Do nothing that could be criticized. Stay safe. Stay small. Stay perfect. And perfectly invisible. I had a draft folder for 3 years. It wasn't for an email. It was for my life. It was a digital graveyard filled with the ghosts of ideas I was going to launch, businesses I was going to start, videos I was going to make. Each one was a perfect, polished little statue in my mind. I would open that folder and feel a quiet, smug satisfaction. Look at all my potential. Look at all my beautiful, unfinished perfection. And then I would close it, and the world would get a little grayer, and I would feel a little smaller. I was a curator of a museum no one would ever visit, guarding treasures that didn't exist. You have a draft folder too. Maybe it's a notebook. Maybe it's a plan in your head. It's the thing you're refining. But let's give that word its real name. Let's be honest in the dark, just for a moment. Refining is just fear wearing good manners. It's the polite, presentable lie we tell ourselves so we don't have to say the terrifying truth. I am scared to be seen trying. I am terrified that my first attempt will be ugly and that people will see the ugliness and know, finally, that I am a fraud. But here is the secret the world doesn't want you to know. Ugly action that moves will always, always beat unfinished perfection that stands still. Progress is a blind force. It doesn't have eyes to admire your beautiful blueprint. It only has a sensor for movement. Did you take a step? Then you may pass. Did you stay still to make it prettier? You are locked out. I remember the first video I ever uploaded. Not the one in the draft folder. The one I actually posted. My hands were shaking. The audio was slightly off. The lighting was mediocre. I said, 7 times in the first minute. It was ugly. It was an ugly, clumsy, embarrassing action. I wanted to delete it the second it went live. I felt physically sick. But that ugly action taught me more in 24 hours than 3 years of perfect thinking ever had. Perfect thinking lies to you. It tells you fantasies. It gives you overconfidence in a plan that has never met the resistance of the real world. It is the architect who has never felt the weight of his own building. But ugly action. Ugly action gives you feedback. Real, brutal, beautiful data. It gives you resistance. It shows you where the wall is so you can start climbing. It gives you growth, not as a concept, but as a scar you can feel. Nobody wins from the draft folder. Ideas die in notebooks ka. Dreams die in planning apps. Suffocate in the sterile, airless environment of your own mind. Only action has a chance to survive. Only the thing that is thrown into the messy, chaotic real world has a fighting chance. Your first version is supposed to be embarrassing. That is the non-negotiable entry price to mastery. It is the toll you pay at the gate. If you look back at your first attempt and don't feel a cringe of shame, you started too late. You waited until you were already safe, already good, and in doing so, you missed the most important part of the journey. The part where you are terrible. And you know you are terrible, and you choose to continue anyway. And while you are in your draft folder, polishing, life is moving. The world does not pause for your perfection. It is a river, and it flows past you. And I promise you, while you are meticulously arranging your words, someone uglier, slower, and infinitely braver is already wading into the water. They are already taking your spot. Perfection waits. Life moves. It is the cruelest arithmetic. You think you need confidence to start. You have it backwards. Confidence is not the cause of movement. It is the side effect. It is the chemical residue left on your hands after you have built something. However crooked. You don't need courage to take the first step. You get courage from taking the first step. The motion itself creates the fuel. Ugly action builds real skill, brick by painful brick. Perfect plans build imaginary skill, castles in the air that vanish with the first strong wind. The world only rewards the ones who upload, who ship, who apply, who try. It has no rewards for the ones who almost launched, who nearly tried, who were about to start. Your fear, that ancient part of your brain, wants you to stay perfect and invisible, because invisible is safe. But your future, the life you are meant to have, wants you to be messy and visible. It is waiting for you to get dirty. Every single expert you admire, every artist, every entrepreneur, every leader you look up to, started as awkward. They started as slow. They started as unsure. They were ugly at it. Progress is not made by geniuses. It is made by people who were willing to look stupid in public, day after day, until they got smart. The ladder you build to get out of the hole doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't need a nice stain or perfect joinery. It just has to hold your weight. Function, in the beginning, always beats aesthetics. I'll start when it's perfect. That is the sentence. That is the quiet, polite killer of dreams. It's not failure that kills most dreams. It is delay. They die of old age, withering away in the dark of your mind, never having felt the sun. Ugly action compounds. One messy upload today is a data point. Another one next week is a trend. A year of ugly actions is a body of work, a reputation, a skill set that cannot be taken from you. Perfection stagnates. It is a pond with no inlet and no outlet, destined to grow still and stale. So, this is the final core message. This is the truth I learned outside the draft folder. Perfect is a luxury for people who have already started. It is a fine-tuning for those who are already in the game. Ugly action is the tool, the only tool, for those of us who actually want to begin. Your draft folder is a coffin. It is a beautifully crafted, perfectly polished coffin for your potential. You have to choose. You can lie in it, comfortable and safe, and let your ideas be buried with you. Or you can swing the door open. You can step out into the blinding, uncomfortable light. You can take that ugly, imperfect, trembling action. You can upload the thing. You can send the email. You can make the call. You can publish the post. Do it badly. Do it weakly. Do it with fear screaming in your ears. But do it. Let the world see your version 1. Let it be embarrassing. Because on the other side of that shame is the only thing that matters. It's not success. It's not fame. It's your freedom.